Coach Lee Hill. And today we are talking about, what are we talking about? Um, we got some stuff going on, but we're actually talking about the client and the hairstylist and the client relationship. How do we rebuild that client and hairline, y'all? I'm still on hair. Hey, Coach Don. Wait, y'all, here she come on in. Ooh,
You
hey, you looking lovely as always.
likewise. I had to put my glasses on. It was just all a blur. Happy Sunday.
Girl, happy Sunday. So much to talk about when we get off this live tomorrow. So much to talk about. All right, so I was just informing the audience that we are going to be going into how to. I don't know, because we were talking about the hairstylist and the client relationship, but it's more so of, I don't know if we want to go into the direction of how to rebuild, how do they rebuild the trust and stuff, because we were talking about those different things,
Mhm.
right? So I was looking at that. Hold on real quick. And then um I went to see if there were any updates on the beauty boycott, and there's none. They're just still boycotting, but there's no, like, I want to see like statistics, anything
Mhm.
happen. It says there is no single unified beauty boycott, but rather ongoing consumer boycotts against specific brands perceived to support, I guess, Israel. So there is no whatchamacallit. So I didn't know if you want to, we want to talk about the client and the hairstylist relationships, right?
Mhm.
And kind of go from there. I like that color on you, Don.
What's color? The
That,
red.
what's that, like a cranberry? That red.
The lips.
Well, the lips is everything, but your top.
Oh, thank you. It's just a red boho.
I like that.
I'm in my boho era with my scarves and my breathable clothes. So
In your
um,
comfortableness.
yes. So thank
So
you.
I went towards how do we rebuild
Mhm.
um the trust, and the reason why I have noticed, I was like, somebody watching these videos, because I have noticed where hairstylists now, they're not showing you how they're applying the hair. Like, so if they
Uh-huh.
doing a quick weave, I don't
Mhm.
see no longer any of those. They're just showing you the finished product. But you guys already know what they did to, you know what I mean, to get to that hairstyle. So now they got the style, the client like swinging their hair around, and they, doing anything, and it looked nice. But again, they done cut out. I've seen a lot of it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm trying to think. I really, this week that just passed, I really didn't see a lot of it. So I was like, well, man, what is going on with that? You know what I mean? So hey, so anyway, um, talking about rebuilding the and strengthening the trust in our with our clients coming from hairstyles, because as you know, we have a lot going on always in the beauty world. And so one of the few things that we have to look at, we have to rebuild emotionally, we have to rebuild professionally, and we have to also rebuild culturally. So the first thing, which you and I have been working on, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job with the expertise and the years of experience, is educating, right?
Mhm. Right.
And it's not, and educating without judging, because a lot of times it's hard to get the message across to someone when you're trying to say, hey, you're doing this wrong, without it coming
Absolutely.
across as we're judging them, and we're really not judging you. But
Mhm.
you got, sometimes you just got to give it raw, you know what I
Right.
mean? And so I have seen, even in the videos that I have done, where people will come in there, when I'm talking about how you're CCCA, the video is based on CCCA, and I got people saying, oh, don't stop judging people for wearing wigs. I'm like, ma'am, did you watch the video? Because they're triggered. So we don't want to come across like we're judging. But sometimes I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes you have to judge the matter because it's so beyond ridiculous that it's like you're not judging the person as far as educating them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But you're judging situations because it is what it is, right?
Right.
So I was telling you that I had a client, a woman that came in on one of the last video we did, and she was talking about. I don't know if I sent you her remarks or whatever, or you went on there and saw it, where she was saying how she's very sensitive. She has a very sensitive scalp, and she breaks out for any little thing, right? And she was
Mhm.
saying how she has been to her hairstylist. I think that she's been to the hairstylist for like maybe like 3 to 4 years, right? Let me say 3 to 6 years just to make sure. And she says she tells the hairstylist, don't put that in my hair because I'm allergic to it or whatever. But the hairstylist continues to do it anyway because she's like, I know what the outcome of the hair is going to be. Now, listening to that type of situation, where do you see the breakdown of that communication happens? Is it the client's fault for continuing to go if the person is not listening? And then why is the hairstylist making it that type of decision, even though the client is telling her so and so? What are the reasons you think?
When it comes to customer client relationships, there are quite a number of things, and I think we kind of miss the ball. They teach us this in school, but a lot of times we miss the ball, or
Hmm.
they miss the ball because they haven't had that particular type of training in terms of
Right,
customer service and listening skills, because the customer came to you for a particular reason, and that is you're able to do or provide the service, right? That's the reason why
right.
we go and get the service. Either the person can do it efficiently, effectively, they are great. However, when it comes to hair per se, you have a lot of people that jump into that industry or that part of the beauty industry, jump on it, and they aren't licensed. So they
Mm,
haven't been to school. So they don't have the customer relationship skills that they teach you in beauty school, because they haven't had any backing. They're just working on the
right.
aesthetic of the industry. And it teaches us that one thing is trust and confidence. Okay, you come to us to boost your confidence. That's the whole reason why you came to us to receive
Right,
a beauty service, right? Now it's
right.
open communication is the next one, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
How are we communicating? Are you upset with me because I'm a fly stylist? I come to work dressed, I'm polished, my nails, my hair, and everything. I look the part or dress the part. You know what,
Mhm.
like, what is the energy? What's the vibe? You come in here, you a foot dragger. You came in here with a bonnet on your head. You came in here, with your kids. They look, they don't look like they're all that cared for. So a lot of things we say without saying it, open communication. And then, the
Right.
feedback from the client, you deliver back what they are saying, but they teach you this in cosmetology school. So if the person that's applying or
Mhm.
providing this particular beauty service, that's a red flag right there. Their communication skills, are they really getting the message across? Because we get all the warning signs
Right.
way before we sit down in the chair, but some of us are prone to drama. So we love
Mm.
exciting salons, and we,
Ooh.
we create drama wherever we go. So the
Ooh.
cocktail for that in the beauty industry is, and you could just pick whatever topic you want
That's
and go
good,
from there.
Dom. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then you have your personalization that you turn into, that's into the pot. Okay, like I said before, my personal style. I choose to come to work fly. Other stylists, or
Right.
you may be in a spot where they don't come to work dressed up. They come to work in flip flops or pajamas. I don't care. I'm
Mm.
gonna play their hair. They're gonna pay me, and yada yada yada. Whatever
Right.
you have. Remember, we used to have that cocktail or that culture. in the salon when we had the salon culture back then. Now we have,
Right.
the salon suites, the emotional connection. What is the
Mm,
customer or this client saying to you? What is she really
mm,
saying? Don, I'm suffering from hair loss. I just found out that I'm going through I'm gonna start having chemo, or I've had chemo, I'm gonna lose my hair. That it's a very intimate um 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 session, right?
mm-hmm.
When you're trading or establishing beauty services, a very, very intimate service. So you want to know, if let me help her in this particular process. Get her
Right.
prepare. No, you have to be sensitive. This lady's about to lose all her hair. She's ill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a drastic change. She's used to having long hair. Now she doesn't have any hair. So now,
Right.
you're entrusted to help her build her her self-esteem, or
Mm-hmm.
remain confident, because we all know how we feel plays a big part in how we heal through the
Right.
process, right? So we have to be mindful of those things when we move about and transcend or transfer our particular gift over into the individual. What are we pouring
Mm-hmm.
into them? Because we will also receive it back. We're just vessels in this process of beauty. So,
Exactly.
the client stylist relationship, the foundation is the skill set and trust.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
if that's not there, it's kind of hard to build or go anywhere. That's the basics of any relationship.
Very, very good. The way you just laid that all out, I absolutely love it.
Mhm.
I want to add to it too. Customer service across the board. Because
Mhm.
now we grew up in Miami, which
Right.
we they don't. You pull up to, depending on where you're at in Miami, it's a either you do or you don't get some good customer service, because we act
Right.
like we doing you a favor, right?
Mhm.
And so I was gonna say that, so customer service is the one of the greatest things I always do when I did have interviews on jobs. I would explain to them
Mhm.
that the customer is always going to tell you what they want. If you just
Right.
stop and you just listen, they're going to
Right.
tell you what's affecting them. They're going to
Right.
tell you what they've been through. They're going to give you the history. They're going to tell you everything. And then they're going to tell you exactly what it is that they want, right? But it's kind of
Absolutely.
up to us to be able to listen. A lot of times, too, Don, and you kind of pointed that out. I was imagining as you was talking about like the hairstylist, and they don't have like basically the people skills or the customer service. A lot of times when you think about it, when we grew up, right? We
Mhm.
knew Keisha down the street that did hair. And Keisha was so good in braiding hair that her mom was like, you can't keep bringing all these people to my house. So then Keisha went to Liberty Market or
Right.
USA Flea Market and
Right.
rented out a booth, right?
Right.
And then Keisha had
Mhm.
her clientele. So
Right.
Keisha went from there to there and was renting out a booth with no education in between, just all pure skill, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and so a lot of times too, and I think that's why people kind of don't have the respect that they should when it comes to our culture of
Right.
hairstylists. Is because a lot of times they think like, when we in beauty school, they had to go to school because they wanted to get their food stamps and their check, right? So a lot of times girls that had the gift, they just chose that in order to continue to get what they need to get, right?
Right.
So they did it as a hobby, right? And
Mhm.
so now we're fast forwarding. So you think about those hairstylists, and we still are making those type of hairstylists, right? We have hairstylists that they come into the industry, they may not have a GED or graduate or whatever. So I'm just talking about the transformation. So that's why you may be good at a skill set, and it's not to put you down, but now you come over to the beauty
Mhm.
world, and it's going to demand more from you, because
Right.
now people are looking at your skills and they're like, wow, I love the way she does hair. Who did your hair? Now it's
Mhm.
word of mouth. But now when people are coming to you, you can't really articulate what, what you're going to offer as a service. And then the other thing is that you don't understand. It is like a foreign language to you when someone's telling you, hey, I'm experiencing hair loss. Only thing you can explain to her is, well, you're going to look at it and say, okay, I can part it this way and do it that way to cover it up. But you're not going to be able to tell the client, hey, this is what's going on with your hair. Because remember, as you brought to my attention, I'm like, oh, I forgot that cosmetologists, we do a little, well, not a little, but we touch on trichology as well. So
Right.
there's things that the unlicensed hairstylist may not be able to do. And instead of taking that and saying, you know what, let me step it up a notch, they tend to either have a bad attitude because they don't understand it. They get a bad attitude, and it's like a defense mechanism to be like, oh, I ain't got time for that. You wash your hair and come in here and let me do what I need to do and keep it moving. So that's the
Mhm.
thing that we may not want to talk about, but
Mhm.
those are our realities in our world, well, in the world of understanding the breakdown of the communication with the client and the hairstylist. So clients are like, well, she broke my hair off, right? Even though
Mhm.
clients know, now I done had to talk with her. She did not give me no consultation. She don't know nothing about what's going on with my hair, but I can get her to cover this hole in my head up.
Right.
So you have to have responsibility on the client side as well as the responsibility on the hairstylist side. So that is where that lack of education comes from. And they may think like, oh, y'all saying that, because I'm saying like, yeah, you went to beauty school. I had plenty of friends, the Spanish girls, they went there because they want to continue their food stamp and they check.
Right.
So you had to show proof you was trying to do something with your life. Were they necessarily really into it? No. And they started
Right.
off, they did their cousin's hair and the family hair, and then they just stopped doing what they were doing. So this is the reality. So a lot of our Keishas and Tamikas who was on the porch and was doing hair, and it was doing so well that people start bringing them, just start coming in, that they ended up renting a booth. But the in between that, there was nothing done. So that's the
Right.
first breakdown that I see, right? Um, I was looking at this young lady. She's marketing about how you can get all these licenses. All right. She did it a different way. She said, "Oh, I have my makeup artist license. I have my braiding license. I have my shampoo. You can get a shampoo and style license, and you don't need to get no cosmetology." Like she named off like 4 or 5. I'm like, if you did all of that, you might as well do the cosmetology program, right? I'm like that. If anybody is listening to this, to me, I was like, if I got to take all of that, then why would I do that? Why would I limit myself and do
Right.
that? And then I think the miscommunication in that is the fact that you don't explain to them the average rate that they will make. You understand what I'm saying? You're not explaining to them the average rate that they will make when they're starting off, when they are unlicensed like that. They just got the thing. It's still a limitation. It's still a cap off. You know what I mean? So it's like for me, that's a big thing. I'm like, yeah, I got my cup. I'm saying, what? I say it's so insulting. You know what I mean? And then when you look at the other race, now people don't want to talk about this, but I'm gonna talk about it. When you look at the other race of people that are in the same industry as many of us, right? As black women, and you look at them in the industry, they don't have these type of issues. I know they may have issues. Their issues are fighting to see who's gonna get to work early so they can get the new clients. You know what I mean? They have other issues, but their skill sets, when you're working in certain type of salons, commission-based salons, they're going to offer you, the owners are going to offer you continuing education, right? They're going to offer you, make sure that you know how to speak to the customer. So it's going to be like a from the door all the way to the end. You're going to know how to speak to that customer. You're going to learn how to do a consultation. So it's advantages in working in those type of salons. But in our mindset, in our world, a lot of times you find that the hairstylists don't want to go into that type of salon because they're like, she's gonna take 20% of my money, or they're gonna take 30%. I just get 70%. but they don't look at the value that's within it, especially when you're at a hair salon that has made a name for themselves, that have been around, that are helping you build your clientele. They don't look at any of those things, right? So instead, they say, and I'm gonna take all my money, but you're still stuck at the bottom because you're capped off. So that was a good one. So I like that you brought that out. Like, for example, too, um, we just have to, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. We try to empower you, but we have to point out the pain points in order for you to get the lesson. You know what I mean? So you can't get the lesson if we like, playing the games with you. Hello, Samir. All right. The second thing too is um oh they want to know where you brought your hair wrap, Don. But the second thing is start with respect and listening. So we kind
Mm-hmm.
of started that off. To me, when it comes to respect and listening, I think that should have been number one. Is when the client comes in, like we talked about the customer service, and they're able to give you that um, one-on-one like time and attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And respect comes with respecting that time. I'll let you talk on this too. Respecting someone's time, be there on time, be there. Being on time is being earlier, right? So be there early, being there on time, listening to what they have to say, reiterating to the client what they're asking for, and then have the different options to be able to give that client. So to me, respect and being able to listen is a big part of it. And I'm going to say one last thing. If you're listening long enough, and if you're a person that is struggling, you're a hairstylist that's struggling to be able to communicate with your customer or whatnot, one of the things that should be a red flag that, you know what, let me get some more CEs, continuing education going on, because this is, if I don't fix this now, I'm going to lose my clientele, and I'm actually really, really love what I do, you know. Do you want to expound on that, Don?
Sure. As they say, the young lady when you said she has a shampoo certificate, or the nail certificate, this certificate,
Mm-hmm.
that certificate. At the end, you might as well have gone to cosmetology school. And a lot of times, cosmetology school, you know, you can do hair well, right? That's why
Mm-hmm.
you go to cosmetology school. You don't just wake up and say,
Right.
"Oh, I'm gonna go to cosmetology school." You've been doing hair at home. You got a little skill set, and either your mama went to school, somebody told you to go to beauty school. You found your way into a beauty school, so
Right.
you invested in your craft. So it requires reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay, you have to be literal literally in order to you have to be able to read and write. And I think
Right.
a lot of times they can't read and write, and it's kind of hush hush, right?
Mm.
I'm a strong stylist. I don't have to read the process of the relaxer. I could just watch how you do it, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go in from there. But if
Right.
I don't base the scalp, um, you don't base the scalp, but it says base the scalp.
Right.
Right. So we don't do necessarily what we read. We don't execute on the theory part. We execute
Mm-hmm.
on the artistry part of the industry. So
Right.
we end up going in and doing a lot of damage to the client's hair. And my thing is you're a master of no skill.
Mm.
You do all these different skills, but you master none.
Mm-hmm.
You master
That's
none. And we all know that if you master that one skill, it'll bring you almost $1 million. That one
right.
skill in the beauty industry, they teach you that. That's like I
Mm-hmm.
said, it's a blueprint. We're
Right.
not new to this. We're true to this. And the ones
Uh-huh.
that are successful in the beauty industry or who've
Mm-hmm.
pivot to movies, theater, a lot of them
Mm-hmm.
have pivoted into other genres, but their foundation is the core of cosmetology. Some go
Absolutely.
go into photography. Some start,
Mhm.
they write, they go into acting. You know,
Mhm.
I look at cosmetologists as artists,
Right. We are.
right? But some of us actually do sing. So, our talent is our skill set.
Mhm.
And if we don't know how to manage it, just like what the other artists go through, be like, man, I can't manage them. They fight all the time. We already
Mm.
know how artists are, right?
Right.
They're very, very creative, and they usually create through their pain or their circumstances.
Right.
Makes the best stories. But the people that fall out of the game, I think a lot of it is um their skill set. If you
Mhm.
get in on the trend, you're gonna fizzle
Mhm.
out because trend changes change out. All the
Right.
stylists that I know that are still doing hair and are successful in this industry, they
Mhm.
do hair. Yes, they can do
Right.
extensions. Yes, they can do a quick weave, but they can cut and color your real hair from
Mhm.
all different types of textures.
Mhm.
So the beauty
Absolutely.
industry, yeah, the beauty industry as a cosmetologist, it put a lot of kids through college. You
Mhm.
know, it paid for a lot of homes. I don't know if people are actual how many homeowners,
Right.
but the beauty industry has done well for a lot of African American women. If you just put in the work, just invest in the craft in terms of learning what to do correctly, right? Because you become that hustler. I'm
Right.
just okay. This the trend. The trend is the quick weave. Okay, let's put this in. I'm not concerned about this lady hair coming out. You just know how to lay some tracks, right?
Mhm.
You
Exactly.
know how to lay some tracks. You know how to razor this hair down.
Camouflage.
Put a little bump right here and send her on out the door. Right now, the style is out. So now the lady has all this hair loss. You didn't invest in the craft. What's the next thing to put on? Which is the lace
Mhm.
front,
Right. And
right?
it's funny, and I'm gonna read Love Lot Laugh in 1 second. I wanted to add to that. Like, I think I was talking about this
Mm-hmm.
a while ago, where they were like, it was this guy that was like big, and he did lace fronts, and they were like, oh my
Hmm.
gosh. And she did a video, and she's like, I'm going in now to get my lace front. She was in ATL, and I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, let me see, because he's probably gonna make the lace front look like real natural. I get excited when they can, Don, that man laid that wig on that girl head. He slapped that glue on all them edges and everything, honey. He had to sleeked her back, put two big braids in. And I'm like, no, 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 no. And he just laid that thing down. Now he laid it down like where the part was so it could be smooth, right? And the braid was like I forgot what we call them. But long story short, I was like, well, okay, it's the mermaid hair. You know how I am about the mermaid hair. Everybody looked the same with that mermaid 22 inches and longer, right?
Yep.
And he took that razor, the one that we use to do our eyebrows. Girl, he took that razor and just pulled them things and he cut them baby hairs and then zoop zoop and that was it. I said, you can't make this up. And he was charging 1200 $1,500, and we was paying
Wow.
for it.
Wow.
All right, all right, and that is, I'm like, so we will pay for that, and you know what I'm saying. So let me go back to Love Laugh and join the convo because I'm looking for a licensed stylist now, and I'm so scared. This is sad. It's so hard to find a good science based and experienced stylist that respects you. Wow.
Yeah.
Shay Shay, I love your vids. Oh, thank you, Shay Shay. And Shay Shay also says, "Yep, them wig makers make money. Yeah, they making money." But I'm like, you don't even have to have. And this is where the respect comes in because it's a trend and everybody's with the baby hair thing. It's like we don't even you don't have to have it, and that's really the message that from our culture, from our black women. I'm sorry, That is what we're pushing. You like for the girl to say, "Hey, you can get a nail license, a makeup artist license." I'm like, well, you should have just went to cosmetology school and learned the science to it. So
Right.
when you have all those licenses, you understand the reasons why you're using this chemical or these different things. Because and she said, and you don't even have to. You don't have to even use a chemical. What the chemical processes are what is what make us money. Color is
Right.
what makes us money. So you understand what I'm saying? It's like
Mhm.
that's when you start getting into the money, being a colorist, being able to do these different processes. So it's like we're leading them wrong to end up saying something like that. A discern and stand firm. Great topic, great channel. Thank you very, very much. Yes, and the thing is, they are money makers, and this is where I think we are delulu. We will sit at the house. I'm gonna talk about it again. I might do another video too on it because Don, this thing irritate me. We will sit at the house, book an appointment. They booked out for months. They no license. Book the appointment. Make sure, and they give you the care pack. They tell you before you get in there. Make sure your hair is washed.
Mm.
Make sure it's blow dried out and very, very dry because they don't want to have to blow. They don't even want to have to blow dry it. Don't come up in there with your hair wet, or it's gonna be braided up just like that. And then, you know what I mean. You better pay this deposit. And we would spend $1,200, $1,500. We don't have it. Most of y'all say, "Oh, I don't have it. I don't have it." But then you got a licensed person that you're coming to the salon. Now you done lost your hair from them. You got a licensed hairstylist that you find, and you're coming there, and we will tell you, "Hey, you need to see a dermatologist." Dermatologist, I think that just for a visit is like 150. You know what I'm saying? 150, 250, something like that. You will not spend the money for that. Oh, eh, that I don't know. I'm saying it out loud because when I do customer service, when I'm talking to people, I like to reiterate. And when someone says something that doesn't make sense, I like to reiterate it so they can catch it and be like, "Oh, that don't make no sense." But obviously, it has been reiterated many a times, and we will not do it. So we will not. It's just like the thing I did with comparison to fast food and good food. You know what I'm saying? And bad hair, low grade hair, low grade service, we will invest in that. But the stuff that will take you long run, when you in your 60s and 70s, you can brush your hair down and say that that's yours. You will not do that. Instead, you
No.
will take the microwave way, knowing that if the long term decision is I'm going to lose my hair, and you will do it every time. And to me, that is
Mhm.
delulu. That is
Mhm.
delulu. And one thing I want to say, this is not an attack on unlicensed hairstylists. This is a wake up call and awareness. We have to do things differently. Otherwise, we will continue in a vicious cycle, going circle in circle, where you are destroying the hair. And I think that if you're unlicensed, you should not be doing lace fronts. They're dealing with adhesives. That's chemical. Like to me, it's like they should not, unless you understand, unless it's a medically great, like it's just certain things they shouldn't be doing, right? You want to color the wig, you can do whatever. But when it's coming to the hair, because we're dealing with CCCA, right? And women are shaving their hair off and they're losing all the perimeter of their head, that is an issue, right? And so I just don't understand how we invest in something like that. And all the man did was cut the little sideburns, or I mean the edges, and that's it. And one last thing, I was watching some more, and some more said, "At what age does baby hair expire? Like when should we?" That joke was so funny. I said, I'm gonna take it and then put it up on the channel. But it was so funny because she was like, I mean, what are we doing? You know what I mean? She was like, "At what age does it expire?" Don, you want to read some of these, or you want me to do it?
Go for it.
Yes, ma'am. Love laugh, love laugh. I'm sorry. Everyone wants to take a shortcut. Yep, yep, and it leads to nowhere. My whole fam. This is Shay Shay. I hope I'm saying it right. Shay Shay Shasha. My whole family, my whole fam worked for Soft Sheen. Then Namaste. Oh, I used to like Namaste. Yeah. They would bring home products in unmarked bottles, and we had to write a journal day by day. Hair is indeed a science. Wow. Remember Namaste, Don? That product. I forgot what happened to that. Hello, Sat Paul. Shay Shay, a lot of these girls buy fast fashion wigs and weed. They don't have health insurance, let alone can see a specialist. Who is that? Shay? I
I'm
mean, we're
done.
gonna lay it all out there. Just lay it
Right,
all out there. They,
right, right.
I'm done for the night, Don. We want to
Ooh,
say goodbye.
child. Yes,
This
drop the
girl,
mic on
Shay
that
Shay
one.
say, child. Shay Shay say, child. They got how honey. They want they fast fashion. That's
Yeah.
Sheen and all that. They want a wigs and weed. They don't have a health insurance. Now, who you talking about? You talking about the clients or you talking about the hairstylist? Because that go hand in hand. You know what I mean? That goes hand in
Mhm.
hand when it comes to that. And that is an issue, Love laugh. Oh Lord, the truth was told. LOL. Yes, ma'am, it was. A lot don't care about the health of any part of their body. Shaking my head. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I'm gonna bring out the next thing that we can do as to build that relationship between the hairstylist and the client. And the hairstylist is not gonna like this one, but I'm gonna tell you, I experienced this, and I walked out the salon because I was like, no, let me take that back. I didn't walk out, but I didn't come back because I was like, be transparent about services and products. You want to take this one, Don? Be transparent about services and products.
Value services, value for service, pricing and expectations. A stylist's pricing often reflects their experience and reputation. There's an unspoken understanding that higher quality work comes with a price, but the
Mm,
clients are willing to pay for excellent results. Consistency in service quality. Clients expect a high level of service that matches the price. And when the stylist delivers, it strengthens the loyalty and satisfactions. Uh,
mm,
yeah. Ultimately, the relationship between the stylist and the client is a blend of artistry, professionalism, and mutual respect and collaboration effort where both parties work together to create an outcome that feels authentic and satisfying. And that's the end result that you want in ultimately in your client customer relation, stylist
right.
relation.
Very, very good. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about transparency, that's part of consultation. And by the way, guys, I did put the link up under this video, this live. I got it right, Don. You'll be proud of me. I put the link there. So we are now offering, Don and I are offering one-on-one coaching. So if you guys are interested in one-on-one coaching, I suggest you take it. If you're having any type of hair issues, anything like that, we're definitely offering that to you now. And I started it last week, and it was a surprise of how many people actually wanted it and needed it. So definitely look into that, and I'll expound on that a little bit later. But part of that is one of the things Don and I talk about is consultation, right? So consultation looks like you explaining to us what's going on in the history of your hair, right? The hairstylist should be asking these questions. What's going on with your hair? What brought you
Mhm.
to the salon? Is it just for styling, or are you having any other issues? What chemical service you're asked for? All these things are going to be asked. Now, once we both have came to an understanding of what type of service you're going to receive, the next step would be for us to explain to you the process. Now, we're not going to tell you about this chemical does such and such. we're not doing all that because you wouldn't understand it, right? Because you just came from being you just came from being a I don't know, a marketer or a salesperson. You don't want to, you don't even care to know all of that. But what you do care about is the time, how long this is going to take. You do care about how this would affect your hair. You do care about why am I choosing this particular product and this particular method to get you the results that you want. So that is a part of being transparent, right? That's very, very important. Now, when it comes to the product, for me, I think that is very big. And I have seen this too. So I'm sorry, I got to call it out. I have seen where hairstylists, because we know hair, I don't know if this happened to you, Don, but I was out of town and the person said they had design essentials. So, you know, we know how the shampoo smell and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She went to pump it, but it was cremination. I child, I let the girl and listen. When I tell you this girl can, y'all, she can cut and style. I was like, oh my god, I finally found somebody because otherwise I would have to keep flying into Miami to see Tony. And I was like, oh my gosh, because I would see her work and I was like, ooh. When I got there, when I tell you that was the biggest letdown, so I said my hair not gonna stay because you're using unprofessional product. So she went in there and she did her cut because I'm very big on cut. She did a cut, she thinned it out, she did a point cut and all this stuff, and my style looked great. But I promise you guys, by the time I got to my next destination, girl, that thing like a Halle Berry cut. That thing was all flat. It had dropped all down. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like hair in my face. So it had to
Oh,
drop all down. It looked like I was like a black one of the Beatles, but a black woman, but I was a Beatle. And I was like, and my friend was like, dang, she cut hair because she cut my friend. I said, she don't use professional products. She got it hidden in the design essential. So we do have that, you know. And this again is why people don't respect the industry because we got hairstylists that's cutting corners. And I'm like, if you invest in your products and your
mhm.
services, I promise you, people by word of mouth will come because they say, that girl don't just slay hair. She makes sure that she don't compromise. She grows our hair, right?
Right.
Our hair is going to grow.
Mhm.
It's not going to be compromised. We're not going to lose our hair. So you want to invest in professional products, but we have some hairstylists that have seen it. I have seen hairstylists that have taken a rinse bottle and told the person that they get a demi and charged them for a demi. I have seen it, guys. I know. And that is so now we're telling the horror stories. That was one. The other one was it was a big time hairstylist that I love too here in Miami. And she ended up getting her own salon. And I went there and she didn't know I was, I was actually in beauty school at the time. I was still young, and she had the bottles in clear to my son, neutralizing shampoo, clarifying shampoo. I said, what is you what product you using? Because I might not want that particular product because we carry different product brands. At that time, we had a Firm, we got Nairobi, we got she brought up Namaste. We had these different products. I need to know what you're putting on me. Oh no, even down to the mousse, Dawn. This what she did when the phone wrap to wrap your hair because I had a short cut. She was so. I said, so you can't see the color of it.
Right.
I said, mm-mm. So transparency in the product, transparency in the service. Hairstylists, if you're not doing that, I promise you, you are never going to grow. You are going to be the hairstylist that say, "Oh, ain't nobody paying. They don't want to pay for the no. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay for the BS." You cannot blame anybody. If I go to BMW to get me a BMW car and you got a Cadillac emblem on it, you know what I mean? I don't want that. I'm paying not just for the name of the car, I'm just using that as an example. I'm paying for the service, I'm paying for everything that goes along with it. And if you're not offering it, you cannot be bold enough and have the audacity to say nobody want to spend money. They don't want to spend money with you because you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're not willing to invest in your business, right? And when I say yourself, meaning when Don say if you a foot dragger, we from Miami, if you coming in the salon with a bonnet on your head and slides on your feet and white stuff around your mouth, I don't want you touching my hair. you can't make me believe that you're gonna do a great. You're gonna make me look like $1 million because you don't even care enough to respect me enough to be a walking billboard so that I can believe in your service. You don't even care about how you look. How you really care about how I look as a hairstylist? And it comes across as we're judging, but we got to call a spade, right? Yeah, y'all not ready for this. What's up,
I,
Don? Let me know before I start reading this stuff.
um, it's hard to find a trustworthy person to someone said, are they would they really have the products, right? So you really want to tell the consumer, oh my goodness, how can I find someone that I can trust to provide me with a service? How? For me, I go to a nail salon. Every single person, I don't book an appointment. I'm gonna walk in. So I've
Mm-hmm.
been going to this nail salon, for the past 5 years. Each person that I've gone to have delivered the same service. I kid you not. I had one bad experience, and it was like an older lady. She seemed kind
Mm-hmm.
of, I don't know what her issue was, but a nail broke. It wasn't the best, but there was just one
Mm-hmm.
experience out of 6 years.
Right.
And it it was a system that they were following from their business. Now I get points, right? When I go, I
Mm.
get a discount. The customer, I get a text message. Hey, it's been 2 weeks, it's 3 weeks. Do you want to get your manicure today? You want to get a pedicure today? Their customer service is out the roof. They target and went after their clients that are spending a particular amount of money, right? At least a hundred
Mm-hmm.
dollars.
Right.
The $100 client. We need to get her in rotation. We need to get her information. She's been coming
Right.
here consistently for X amount of years because they have delivered excellent products. So my new
Mm-hmm.
technician, I asked her, hey, I was like, I just need to make an appointment because the last person was kind of, he just wasn't there.
Shady.
I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, what's going on here? Let me go to the last
Mm-hmm.
person that provided me this service. And she told me she had just gotten here.
Mm.
Okay. She was in their country for 2 years. She's been on the waiting list to come to America to do nails.
Wow.
Okay. She
Mm-hmm.
said she needs a vacation because I was in a moo I live in a moo. So she was like, are you off today? Black people can't be walking around in a moo. So I was like, yeah, when people ask me that, I just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
off, because they be like, what are you doing? I'm, walking around in the moo. But
Right.
anyway, she was like, oh, and English was basic. Like she just, you know what I mean? And you could tell she was like following a script. She was running. This was her rhythm. Okay.
Right.
She
Right.
was not going to get a vacation, was no vacation
Mm-hmm.
coming. Right.
Mm.
She
Mm-hmm.
was on a schedule. When she's off from work, she has a whole routine that she has to do in terms of cooking and preparing her duties for her family, like literally.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, it's like everything was just systematic. She's looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to a vacation. I was like, okay, where are you looking to go? And she said, have you heard of TikTok?
Oh my God.
She said TikTok have a whole travel world that you could go
Yep.
into. And she said TikTok travel. I was like, oh my Lord, have mercy. Okay, yeah, I'm getting me a whole new foreign class,
Listen.
child. But
But that
it was a
go
it was a
ahead.
great it was a nice beauty experience, but it let me know that this business is successful because they are bringing their people in and they have
Come
a
on.
foundation already set up. So when they
Mm-hmm.
arrive, they ready to go.
Right.
The exact
Right.
same service. Like, it was all systematic. She had her own little rhythm. Okay, I file this, I do, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, why we can't have that? A very
Well,
successful
they
business module.
I'm gonna tell you something, Don. I'm gonna be bold enough to say it. We getting there. I hear people come on my channel. You wasting your time. They say all that stuff, but I see the impact already. You see, they not showing how they installing them those quick weaves. Don't think that nobody watching this channel. You know what I mean? I'm like, you watching the channel, right? So I know it's an
Mhm.
impact. And the thing is, this is kind of like our own little boycott thing where you got to keep calling mess out. Two
Yeah.
things gonna happen. It's like in any relationship. You're gonna set up some boundaries. You're gonna
Mhm.
inform people. You're gonna make them aware of the issues at hand, and either that they are gonna get to the left or they're going to get right. They're going to get right and they're going to do the necessary things to maintain the clientele and to step up their game and to understand that it's just not acceptable service, right? And then when it comes to our clients, it's the same process. Either you're going to get left and hair left out and gone, or you're going to get it right and you're going to get the necessary steps that you need to do in order to maintain your hair. Still understanding, I think the key point is a lot when it comes to our clients is understanding that you can get the hairstyles that you're asking for, right? Well, I don't want to say you can get it because that's also if you're a candidate and if that fits you. But for the majority of the time, you go to your hairstylist, they'll let you know, right? Of someone that is educated, licensed, and know what they're talking about, right? And you can get that information. However, you can get that particular style if that person explains to you in that consultation that these are what you're going to experience and it's going to cause breakage and all those different things, I suggest they need to be able to give you other options that can get fulfilled, to give you that desired look as close as possible. But if they are willing to compromise your hair and you say okay and you go along with it, first time, shame on them. Second time, shame on you. And after that, shame,
Mhm.
shame, shame on you, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let me read this real quick. I love these comments in here. Shay
Mhm.
Shay, I feel like my generation was the last to have Marcel irons. Y'all love the Marcel irons, boy. Wraps, rod sets, and that wash. That was high school. Okay, that was high school. After that, it was downhill. I'm a millennial. The Gen Z really care about aesthetics. Yes. Where you from? Y'all go ahead and shout out what's where are you guys located right now? Shay says, random question: does Mazzani still have their systems, Carafuse and I think Hydrofuse? I'm gonna be honest, Shay. I'm not a fan of Mazzani because they were brought out, so I don't really keep up with it. But if I'm not mistaken, I was in the professional beauty supply, so I was in I think it was Cosmoproof. What we got? I always mix these two up. Salon Centric. I was in Salon Centric, and across the street from my home, and they had. I saw Mazzani and I did see a Carafuse, but I care not to even look up at it. She said goes back and she's saying what? And then love life, love laugh. How do you know if your stylist is really using the products they claim to use? Ooh, this is love laugh. See, I knew because of course I'm a hairstylist. Um, Dang, that's a good one. For me, the one of the biggest things is if my hair falls. Like if my hair doesn't stay the way it's styled at that time, then that's an issue. You know what I mean? Um, that's the risk of the draw you have to take. You have to, let me tell you your biggest thing that you have to do. This is the best thing I can give. I don't know what advice Don is gonna give, right? But when it comes to something like that, that's where a consultation comes in. That's where you have to do your homework. You can't just go to somebody just because they do great, the styling part. Because I did a video last week about the difference between an unlicensed hairstylist. They specialize in aesthetics, just the styling of your hair. Cosmetologists specialize in the aesthetics as well as science, right? So if you believe, if you're in a position like that, those are the signs that you know. But the other thing is you have to do your homework. You have to look at the reviews. You have to see. You have to talk to the client and then ask like, okay, what if you say to her when you're doing your consultation? You can say, okay, what products are you using? You're using Design Central. Oh, which one? Because Design Central has different ones. They have one for curly hair. They have these different ones. Okay, so and how does that work for my hair? What will that do? Those are the kind of questions that you have to ask. I may do something on it. I think I have one. It's way back on what to ask for in a consultation. But those are the ways that you will know that that client, that hairstylist, is actually using the product, and also you're going to know because she's investing in herself. You're going to see it. You're going to see it in the way she comes to work. You're going to see it in the consultation. You're going to see it. She's going to be have product knowledge. She's going to be very educated. You know, a lot of times she's going to be able to look at your hair and tell you things about your hair, right? She's going to be able to look at your scalp and tell you those things. And in those, you're going to feel comfortable and be like, okay, she definitely is investing. And then you go from there. So that's the best thing. And do your homework. Like, don't just get caught up in the trend. Everybody doing pixie cuts and pin curls, and that means something, because that don't necessarily mean anything. So that was a good question. Love laugh. Dawn, do you have anything before I read the rest of these questions?
When it comes to
How do you
the
know if they're using professional products on your hair?
you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. I was at a trade show and the products never made it. You know, we were at Model Call. We had a major show
Let
to
me
go
see.
on. It was at Premiere, and she didn't have the products didn't come.
What you mean
Can
the
you hear
products
me?
didn't come, Dawn?
The products didn't come. The products hadn't made it there by the time Model Call. So we had to go and find products. She first went to Walgreens, and
What?
then she
What?
went to yeah. After she left Walgreens, we ended up at Walmart, and she was purchasing some products that was similar to the products that were supposed to be used
Man,
for the show. When I tell you, I was floored, and from that
precious
moment
lamb.
on, I lost my hope in the system. I was like, "This is some cockadoodle shit right here." I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was in shock. When I said shock, the people hair just frizzed up
Look.
on stage. It was a total disaster.
Oh my
The
God.
only thing saved them was that everybody was just like looking around, like, did we really see that? I'm like, this product just completely flatlined. Um, so
Wait. Was
you
that
don't
was that
know.
was that us, or was that another culture? Another people? Was it us that
Yeah,
had?
it was
Okay.
us.
I hate that. Y'all. Wait. Before you even go, y'all know how it is when we see some crime on TV and it be something, you be like, Lord, please don't let it be us. Child,
It
it
was
was
us.
us. God, no. You know
Girl, I was like, oh my goodness. And from here on, and that's why I study ingredients and not so much products. And I'm gonna give you guys a
what I'm
tip
saying?
on terms of the beauty industry. When you come up with a product, right? Say
Mm.
you've been playing around in your kitchen with some product, and you
Mhm.
take it and have it patented. Your patent is only good for 5 years. So if you have a formula that's hot, you only got it for
Mhm.
5 years. That's why you see product companies constantly changing or altering out their prime their product. Just they're tweaking their ingredients just a little bit,
Mm.
because to try and hold on to that authenticity of the line. So products, if it's a great product, if it's a good product and it's out there, you're gonna be able to find it again in 5 years. It is what it is. It's
Mm.
gonna it's gonna it's gonna be. There's nothing sacred anymore. If you're making it in the smaller it is, yes. If you're in a more small unit contained area, yeah, it'll work for you. But 5 years is all you got, baby.
Mhm.
After that,
Mhm.
it's out there to the public. And if it's doing good with Joe and that product is selling, they're gonna get it. They're gonna somebody smart businessman. That's why a lot of people say, give yourself time. Let me see how it works in the market first. Like I don't jump on
Right.
trends that come out in the
Mm-hmm.
marketplace. I give it some time, 2, 3, 5 years. You know, after a while, you're gonna see the residue and the scar tissue that lace fronts are now giving on the scalp from
Wow.
where the hairline marries the face, the skin marries the
Mm.
face, the scalp marries the face. You're gonna begin to see skin issues developing from that
Yep.
particular area. It's just natural. That's how all these trends end up destroying your body in the end. You know, the end result is disastrous.
Mm. That was boy Don, you be having them, you be dropping them bombs. Bomb bomb bomb. Don be coming with it. That's why I love Don. She is a nerd. That's because I've seen discoloration, but these were on clients that actually needed the system. And
Uh-huh.
this goes back into where I always tell people, because like the lady said, stop judging us wearing our wig because I got this kind of issue. Girl, nobody's judging you, but
Right.
understand the consequences if you don't need a lace front or wig, or you just doing it because everybody else is doing it and you want this hairstyle and you don't want to
Hmm.
compromise your hair. You're actually compromising your hair. It's delulu to
Yeah.
think that you're going to be able to sprit and spray and sleek your hair down and then cover it up and think that you're not going to compromise your hair. That's why you do these things. Stop lying to yourself. Just be honest and be like, I know what I'm doing wrong. Let me stop it and let me fix it. Otherwise, just don't lie to yourself. If anybody, you can lie to us. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna
Hmm.
tell you the truth anyway, because we already understand what's going on. We can look at your head like it's like, dog. Yeah, let me tell you, y'all. I love cuts. I keep telling y'all I love haircuts, right? I know they probably gonna show y'all the end result because every time I say something, they switch it up. They don't want to show you. But them haircuts done, just trash. I'm so sorry. Like the bobs, and they love doing this thing where they pull the hair up because they don't flat
Uh-huh.
iron and mess out of hair so it look thin. So they don't cut it. They ain't cut it right because they like to be dramatic. They gonna do it with the clippers and they gonna cut. And then I'm like, that hairstyle that needs to be layered, right? And let's say they layer it, but they got all it when you layer hair or when you're doing like a graduation, it shouldn't be a weight line. Don, it be weight line in areas. I'm like, well, why is it? Why is it just dropped? It just dropped,
Yeah.
right? And then they just that thing be irritating the mess out of me. I'm like, now Don, you probably need to do a class on that. You need to do something like that for the professionals because we really need it in our industry. Char M says, "Hi, ladies. What is your thoughts on Kira Care products?" Um, There's certain I know that that's a firm. Care is a firm. There's certain products that they still have that are good. They do have the fiber guard that is under the lawsuit. We did a video on it about the boycott, what to look for, whatever. There is a not an interview, but there is a hold on, y'all. Child, that's me barking. She want to bark. Now I'm doing that, doing it. But there is a video talking about the fiber guard. I know that they are on under a class action lawsuit, but like the wax and their shampoos, they still have some good products there that you can use. The wax, though, the issue is when it comes to those products, it's not like the wax. I love the wax because we used the wax for updos back in the day. That's what you used it for. Use it for updos. Now they use it for moisturizing the hair, and that's the only type of thing that they're putting on the hair, and they think it's moisturizer. It's being used wrong. So that's the only thing I have to say about Kira Care. Don, you got anything on it?
No, I don't use Care. I haven't used Care. I'm a design essentials girl. I've been one design essentials for over a decade now. It's probably going on 2 decades. But and I've been in the industry over 3 decades. So
Right.
the design essentials is it for me because they have a they have a supporting educational structure for the stylists. And they also have it for for the consumer. So you can go to their website, you can and you can reach out to a stylist. You can reach out to them. They can put you in contact with them. They have actual videos that give you a insight on your particular texture. You know, you have a full support system there for you in terms of what it is that you need from natural and to relaxer. Of course, relaxer, that's the, you know, a professional. You can't necessarily
Right.
purchase that. But in terms of the finishing products and the natural hair products, they have a excellent system in place
Hmm.
for our hair type. And I have always experienced great results with Design Essentials when you use it as directed.
Very good. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Shay, them 305 girls carried us on campus at FAMU. I love y'all down. Hey, shout out to 305, Miami Dade, Dade County.
Yeah.
Dade County. Okay. Shay, they say them Dominican salons out relax and conditioner, and the Egyptian blowout salons in Chicago takes the temp gauge off their blow dryers. Whoa, a damn shame. Yeah, that sure is. Let me tell y'all that listen, shout out to my Dominican sisters or whatnot. But honey, I always remember this story, y'all. My little sister, I'm 10 years older than my little sister. And my little sister had long, wait, first of all, I had the hair. Like it's three of us. My mom had three girls, three boys. I'm the oldest sister. So I had the hair, but I never liked hair. So from eighth grade, I was cutting my hair, right? But my little sister, she was like, dang, she get the long hair and she always cut her, so she grew hers out. So by the time she got to the 12th grade, she had long, thick hair. She graduated. She and my mama started going to the Dominican hair salon. I swear, Don, it took my sister years to get her hair long, and it was pretty, and I was doing her hair. But then, of course, I had my salon. I moved away from Miami. I was in Oviedo, so they had to find somebody, and they was in love with the Dominican blowout. Honey, they was walking, they come home, they call me on the phone. Oh, look at my hair. I'm like, mm-hmm. I said, it looked nice the first time because I wasn't really into it. And I was like, maybe I need to look into the Dominican blowout, right? And because I'm like, well, what? But when we blow dry hair in a diverse salon, we don't do all of that stuff. I never understood. I'm like, why do they do all of that stuff? Well, number one, they hate doing our hair.
Mm.
If it's natural, they do not like doing black women hair because remember what I told you in beauty school, I was taught that we had difficult hair. All through our life, we're taught we have difficult hair. So that's number one. Number two, they if you don't want it relaxed, they sent me to people that the women that only wanted natural and they just wanted to blow out. And I know you guys think that, oh, it's natural and I'm not putting a chemical in, it's not gonna break off. It's still going to break off because they want to put direct the highest heat on your hair because remember mentally that hairstylist has been trained your hair is difficult, it's kinky, all these different things they're thinking negative, so they want to do everything possible to take that curl pattern out your hair. So they're gonna put they're gonna wash your hair, then they're gonna roller set the hair. So you're gonna sit under the dryer, then they're gonna take that roller set, they're gonna they take all the rollers out, then they're gonna blow dry. They're gonna put that heat right on to the hair till it thin out just the way they like it, till that curl pattern goes straight, right? Then they're going to take the flat iron and put it to the maximum heat, 425, and flat iron you some more and run it through and run it through. And then they run the root, it's real hot because they can't touch it with their hand. They gotta have a comb and they gotta do something because that's how hot it is, right? So you done had the heat to it, you done sat in the dryer, right? Then you done had them blow dry the hair, put direct heat, then you're gonna go back with the flat iron on the hair. So now your hair is thin. It's like it's really limp. But in your mind, it's not as thick. Like they got through it. It looks flowy and nice. You're thinking, oh, my hair is great. But after a while, my sister child, Dawn, her hair was here. It was long.
Mhm.
Child, I started talking about you could see straight through. You see how you see the wall through this earring? You could see straight through her hair. It was just thinner and thin. Honey, my mom called me, she said, Nidra, come down here and put me some finger waves. I said, Mama, they not even wearing finger waves. I don't care. Put some finger waves. She didn't even need a blowout, y'all. My mom had curly hair. I was like, Ma, you don't even need. She hated her curl pattern. I did not understand that. But anyway, um, that's neither here or there. So yes, I'm not a fan of the Dominican blowout because their negativity mindset that they are taught when we come into the salon, we're not winning there. But y'all keep going because they charge what I don't know. I think New York they say they charge $35 or something. They charging you paying them whether it's $35 or $15 for them to take your hair out. What who's winning there? All right. That guy twins. Oh God, Luis, Char. Oh Marilyn. All right, shout out to Marilyn. Love, laugh, Marilyn. So you both are from Maryland? Okay. Shay Shay from Chicago born. Hey, I love Chi-Town. Now I don't know what y'all did down there because the weather that cold. That's ridiculous. But from Chicago born and raised diving, raised I don't know what I mean. Raised diving in LA now. Okay. Now since LA barely have black folk, the average price for a wash and set is $150. Wow. That's LA though, right? That kind of makes sense. That kind of makes sense. But that $150, does it look like it's worth it? That's what I want to know. Jimmy Bonnie or Bonnie, ladies, you are stunning. Thank you. Your age and vibe is right up the alley with me. Okay, thank you. Love and laugh. This convo is so great. Feels like a chat in the living room. Right. And this is what Don and I was talking about creating because a lot of times, ladies, y'all know how it is. Y'all be in the salon all day. Y'all already mad. Y'all know, y'all be sitting under there. Y'all done read all the articles in the paper. You done read every magazine. You done saw the little child, the little baby done run up and down. Y'all done been sitting there all day long. So you done seen them running up and down. You tired of the kids. You're hungry. Now after 6 hours, you get your hair finally styled and done, right? And then you go home. And guess what y'all do? Y'all sit in that living room and y'all ride out. Y'all ride out on the stylist. Y'all talk about how the environment and how you just sick of it, but your hair look nice, so you just take it. You're mad because all the time is taken away from you. That is unprofessional. I love Dawn when she talk about the drama that be going on, and I'm like, dang, I be forgetting about the drama because I don't like drama in my salon. I'd be like, don't do that. But you're gonna have it regardless. You just have to know how to handle it professionally. But yeah, you get sick of it. So we wanted to create a channel where you guys be able to talk about these things openly, and it's great because let me tell you something. Like right now, it's 15 watching. Listen, somebody some of them coming on here so they can figure out how they can manipulate the system and figure out another way to do what they need to do. And some of the hairstylists and clients are saying, you know what, let me just do what I need to do because they are right. So it's just the luck of the draw, but these conversations are helping others. Trust me, it's helping them either way, right? So some of them may say, I'm just not even gonna stay in the business no more because they don't need. I'm not about to do all that. I don't need to get no license. I don't need to do that. Is some of them that's gonna do that too, and that's fine because they didn't. You gotta love what you do. All right, now, Tanya Mathis, enjoying the insight and knowledge. Good, 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 Tanya. Tanya, where are you from, and are you a hairstylist or a client? Love laugh. What do you all think about influence or biosilk products? I also have Paul Mitchell products too, but from this convo, I think I need to switch to all of this over to design essentials. Um, love laugh. That's like a loaded question. I'm gonna tell you why. That's why consultation. Remember, we was telling you we offering one-on-ones. That's where you want to get that information because we have to be able to look at your hair texture and see what's going on and understand. We have to understand your like your the history, what are you doing, your routines and different things like that to be able to tell you um if that product is working for you. Those products that you talked about, the Paul Mitchell, that's a good product line, right? BioSilk has been around for many years. That's another good product line. Influence, that's the Influence. Influence. I've seen them. I've never used it, so I really can't tell you anything about it. As you know, Don gonna come back and tell you design essentials. But Don, do you have any comments towards that?
In terms of
Do you know about
from
any yeah, influence at least? Because I know you know about Paul Mitchell and
I've
all them.
heard I've
Any
heard of influence, but for me, I don't believe in a multitude of products, right? For me, I
Mhm.
like a complete system, a complete line. Like I tend to use companies that offer me a complete line, so I don't have to carry this particular line for this particular hair type, this particular line for this particular hair type. Give me one product line based on my clientele that's coming in to
Right.
service me. For me, my clientele was 99.9% African American. Okay.
Mm.
And the Caucasian
Right.
clients that were coming in were receiving color. That
Mm-hmm.
1%. They were receiving color. So I had to find a product line that would support my clientele. Okay.
Right.
That product, why I chose Design Essentials because I was with Mazzani before. I tried Nairobi. I was with Dudley when I first came out of beauty school. Then I, introduced
Mm-hmm.
to, and then I learned the difference between professional brands and over the counter brands.
Mm-hmm.
I started out as a Dudley technician when like my third year out of beauty school. I started doing my
Mm-hmm.
internship with them. That's where I got all my cutting classes and actually got a understanding of the beauty industry and the process and how it actually works. That there aren't that you really have to find a product that supports the science of hair. And what is it that what is the ultimate goal? Am I wearing my own hair? Okay, if I'm wearing my own hair, then what style am I wearing? Right? So
Right.
based on the style would be the collection of products that you would use to support the style that you are wearing. Sometimes people are just wearing wigs. Look, I'm not gonna style my hair. I'm just gonna have my hair braided down. I just want my
Mm-hmm.
scalp clean, and I want my track down. Okay,
Right.
that that process is gonna cause traction alopecia. Well, what do you mean
Mm-hmm.
by that? Yeah, continuous stress in those partings are gonna cause your hair to fall out. If you continue to just
Right.
shampoo your hair, just give you your four braid downs, your hair is gonna thin. That line that you constantly shred down is gonna thin. Your hairline will begin to thin. You will begin to see hair loss when you continue that particular pattern. So the stylist has to be aware of this long term. What's going to That's not going to work for you, ma'am. Okay, you're going to wear your if you're going to wear your wigs, that's fine. But we're going to have to
Mm-hmm.
alternate your track down because
Right.
it's going to refrain from alopecia. Oh, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
that. Yes, each time you come in, we're going to have to rotate your track down in order to ensure that you don't have this continued tension on this space right here in
Right.
which you're
Right.
doing. So those are the steps in which you do to ensure that this method that this client likes won't jeopardize the integrity of her hair. So the ultimate
Mm-hmm.
goal, and any client will tell you this when they come in. Look, I like this hairstyle, but I don't want to lose my hair, for this hairstyle. Oh, okay, I got
Right.
you. They're gonna listen to what it is that you offer them. Okay, I hear what it is that you're saying. Like you said, well, I want a cake. I want a 10-foot tall cake.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, baker. Give me this 10-foot tall cake. Okay, where are you gonna put it? How are you gonna house it? How are we gonna transfer it? You have this vision of this 10 stack cake, right? Is it really realistic? Uh-oh. You gone, Lethra. Okay, you
I
back.
am
You went out and then you came back. But that's
precious
that's a
lamb.
part of the concept, and and the customer relations and the open communication with you and the client. You want to be clear what is the ultimate goal for the end result.
Now, and I'm glad you brought that up. Now, I see where I went out. I wanted to say to Shar too. Was it Shar? Oh no, that was Love and Laugh that asked that question. Don, and that's a good point that she brought out that majority of her clientele is African American. For me, it's different. I always had to have the whole line. It was more expensive because you got to have the whole line because I didn't just have it. I would say it was like 50-50. I had 50% of my black, my African American, and then I had a lot of Caucasians because you got to remember, it was kind
Mhm.
of like I always did a lot. Like I had to work in salons and I always worked in diverse salons. My school was all Hispanic. So coming out of there, I worked in one salon where I booth rent, and that was all black. So all my clients was black at the time. That was in Orlando, and then I also worked in Regis Salon as well, right? So then when I
Right.
quit my own salon, I brought the salon that was basically all Caucasian salon, and then I brought my black people over to that salon, and so I had the diversity. So we did hair, like the men haircuts and stuff. So you got to have a line for that, right? And they like tea tree, and then the color lines. You had to have. I had different color lines. And then when it came to our products, when it came to our black, I had several lines, so, but I didn't
Mhm.
have influence. So that is the difference. But you do have to have the full system. If you go somewhere and they like, I put this on her and then do use this. No, no, no. I don't like that either. So I agree with Donna. Like it need to be the full system. And it has to be where they offer continuing education. A lot of the lines that we have, well, I'm not in it like that heavy anymore. So, but a lot of the lines that I picked, like even Dermalogica, I had Dermalogica because they gave us education and different things like that. So that was in my salon, so it was more diverse. So that is the difference. But if you notice, Love Laugh, you see how much information we just gave you just off of that question. It's a loaded question, so that would have to be a private like consultation where we're looking at the hair and all those different things and getting more information from you to be able to tell you exactly if you need to get rid of those, or you can keep those and maybe you can just kind of transition over. It's a lot. So that's something you got to make a decision on. Shar M, I brought the wrong product from a Chinese hair store. Lord, I thought I could exchange, but I couldn't. Honey, no ma'am. You had 10 minutes to change that. No ma'am, they don't do that anywhere. I don't know nowhere you can do that. I left the shampoo at the counter to go get another one. When I got home, she had watered down my shampoo. Wait, Shar M, you in Maryland? They doing that in Maryland? I don't I never heard of that. I don't even You heard of that before, Don? Now we got the corner store. We don't I never heard of that. I don't even know how to answer that.
They watered down her
Fun
shampoo.
travels. Huh?
They watered down the shampoo.
Yes. You ain't got no words, Don?
People are devious. They, and I
That's
don't think
crazy.
I don't think we realize how much people actually hate us.
Mm.
You don't they'll take your money, but they really don't like you. So I really try and find products that are made by African Americans, because I find that when we go try and make something or an attempt, or we're working at it, it's much more authentic.
Mm.
Right? We're gonna do the research and try and create the best brand possible. And a lot of times we end up going broke before it actually takes off,
Right.
right? Because we've invested so much money in the chemistry part, the production part, till when it's time for the actual rollout of the product, we don't have any money for marketing for
Mm.
this. That's why you find us in the trunk of our car, at the flea market, at the swap shop, trying to push the product at various, pop-ups or things like that. So now it's a little bit different. We have the basic ingredients, which we can, if we're wise enough, we can find different manufacturers. When if it's a product out there that's booming,
Mm-hmm.
we could go and find us a product and says, this is Beauty Pioneers, created by, like, right now we could find black market design essentials products and put Black Pioneer on it. You know what I mean? Once
Yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
product has been out in the market for any particular time, you can go out and you can find this product and you can put your own label and stuff on it. So it's easier for us to launch various products. That's why you have so many celebrities, right? That come out with
Right.
their, you have Rihanna with a cosmetic line, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You have what's the Kylie Kardashian girl. Then you have Danessa Myrick. All of them are the same product. Every single
Mm-hmm.
one
Wow.
of them, it's the same product, right? It's the same
Mm.
manufacturer. It's the different marketing strategies that different people are coming out with. Danessa is more the home girl. I started out
Mm-hmm.
this with my, in my kitchen. No, she didn't. She started out doing makeup for Kiss Cosmetics. I saw her at the trade show,
Mm.
right? She's a great makeup
Right.
artist. Her background is actually, she doesn't have a background in beauty. Her background is
Mm.
business, right? But
Wow.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
she fell in love with doing makeup, and she has a gift at doing makeup. So she began to do makeup for different companies for the trade
Mm.
show. So she said, I took this job to feed my family. She's from New York. So what she
Right.
did, found the same company that's the Kiss, they make other makeup. So she says, I want to come out with my own makeup line. It's a lot of black girls. She saw a niche. Black girls want to
Mm-hmm.
see some black cosmetics. So she stayed within her niche.
Right.
She's a dark skinned girl. So she created colors that work for us. Boom. Took her little course at Harvard Business School, right? Came out of there and took off. She had marketing, she had this, she had that. And she's not doing large quantities. She's doing those little small miniature size samplers.
Wow.
Okay, but you can find it in Sephora. But she found her little niche, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely
Right.
no license in the industry.
Mm.
Rihanna is not licensed. She's not a licensed makeup artist, esthetician, cosmetologist. We resell makeup.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
make music, right? But she has a full
Right.
blown cosmetic line. So it tells you that different people we can get in the industry, right? If you have if you have the money to market and push your brand, you're
Mm.
popular enough. So anything can be copied. All of them is the same. Kylie,
Right.
look at look, like I said, the Kardashian girl. It's not rocket science. It's easy. Beauty is like a fire. It catches
Mm-hmm.
so quickly and spreads so quickly.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Fun travels. Is the relaxer gentle treatment good? Absolutely not. I is that still on the market? I'm so
In some
sorry.
areas,
I just huh?
yeah, in some areas,
It's still
yeah.
on the market, huh?
Mhm.
Oh wow. Man, I
Mhm.
use that every time. I used to use that when I was young. That thing used to bring fire to my
Mhm.
hair. Child,
Mm.
please. Mm-mm. MME Flair, hello. ERK, not sure what 6-7 means. Tanya Mathis, client, I am from New Jersey. Hey, shout out to New Jersey. I want to go out there one day. MM Fair, Cosmetologist, RDU, Triangle, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. That's good to see. Shay, my screen is broken. Sorry for my typo. Okay. Roz, Christopherson. Hello, ladies. R. Moore. What are your thoughts on Nairobi products? I am a client. I am a fan of Nairobi products. Actually, like um, I don't really do. Because I'm not in a salon like that anymore. But when I was in a salon, I kind of liked Nairobi products over Affirm products, because their relaxer, especially if you have really thick hair or whatever, it kind of like work through it if you applied it correctly or whatnot. I did go and look and see if they had any class action lawsuits. I did not see any for Nairobi, and they have been around for many years. But everybody knows, right, Nairobi for the foam wrap, because they have the shine in it that when you mold in the hair. That's what I use as well. I still use some of their products, but yeah, I really, really love their whole system. So are you having any issues with it? Because for the most part, I have never had one client come back and complain. And I was doing hair at that time when I was using Nairobi a lot, was in North Carolina. So R more, let me know how that is. It working for you, or you just curious about it? Shay. Oh, Don, Don used Design Essential. Since you don't have, do you know anything about Nairobi, or no? You
Oh
don't
yeah,
really.
I've used
Okay.
Nairobi. I use the
Okay.
foam lotion quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
hmm
hmm
I love
So
it.
yeah, their whole product line, I've used pretty much all of it. Their repairs and all that is pretty good.
hmm
Shay, I remember first moving to LA and noticing the Asians own the beauty supply. They hire the Latinas, and the black women are the buyers. Yep. They would never hire us to work in a hair store. Crazy. Yeah. Now down here in um that's interesting. I do see that, like the nail salon that I go to, she actually speaks Spanish, and she's from the Philippines,
hmm
and she has Hispanic women working in the nail salon. And as funny as it is, I don't the Spanish women, they like chit chat a lot or whatever. And when it comes to my pedicure and my nails or whatever, I go to the owner to do my nails, and it's this lady, y'all. I feel so bad, but she do such a great job, girl. Even Jay go to the lady now. That I'll be like, you want to feel like you flown on air? Because I went to China many years ago, and I got a full, y'all. I listen to this. I got a full massage from the top of my head all the way to my toes, right? And it was a 2 hour massage, and it cost $12.
Wow.
So we was blown away, right? This 2006. So now when I come back into Miami, I'm like, please, somebody must just. I don't understand why y'all can't massage my hand, because when we in beauty
Yes.
school, they teach you got to
Yes.
massage your hand. Nobody don't do it, but this
Yes.
lady here, I found her, and them other ones be trying to, because we tip well. Jay and I tip. I don't even know the lady name, but she see me, I'd be like, and I tell my owner, I say, listen, make sure you have a, and she massages my. I actually go only to the Asian women. I don't go to the Hispanic women. They do a good job, I'm sure, but I just like her work, because she massaged my leg, put the hot wax on, put the towel. She do it all, but it just be amazing.
hmm
So yeah, but I was gonna say too, I'm sorry, Shay, that also here in Miami, we have more of the Indian people who have the corner stores here, and they do hire us. They hire the black women, the unlicensed black women, to go in the back, and they do a quick weave for you. Or they're gonna braid your hair down and put the wig on and put the adhesive on. So they hire you, and you got to stay in the back, or we are in the front, and we're selling you their hair if they got it on sale down south. But they will sell you, they'll be out there as salesperson. So I guess it's just, how they see it. Thank you, ladies, very much. Love, laugh. You're welcome. And fair. Yes, ma'am, I agree. Stop shopping with them and get it from a distributor. then products ain't right all the time. Them products ain't right all the time. Absolutely, MME Flare. I always say that those products could be sitting on the shelf. Those cosmetologists that probably never finished courses, or finished and got their license, or they are licensed and they went in and they thought that it was going to be booming, making thousands of dollars a week, and just got a beauty school, not realizing that it takes a year for you to build up, 8 months to a year to build up clientele. So a lot of times they go out, they get excited, they in the salon. The worst thing they do is, as I'm talking about our people, we will go and booth rent. You don't have a clientele, so you shouldn't. To me personally, I don't think you should booth rent. I think you should go into the Regis salons, the smart styles, because they will hire you. Even if you cut a hole in somebody's head, they will not let you go, because they understand you're fresh out of school, but eventually you're gonna get it right. And they give the people they learn $19 back, but guess what? You're learning your skill, you're sharpening your skill set. So yeah, that's what I want to say to that. So those products are sitting on the what do you call it, on the rack for many months, sometimes years, and then they like, oh, I could sell to Amazon, or oh, I could do that, and then you guys rush out and buy it, and then when it doesn't give the effect that it needs to because it's been sitting there so long, then you're saying the product is not good. It's not necessarily the product; it's just where you're buying it from. You have to me personally, I would go to a hairstylist, because you can't just go to a distributor unless you're licensed. So go to a hairstylist and make sure she's a hairstylist that offers products, that she's continuing education. So that the products are moving and she's not just selling you something that's sitting on the sideline for many months and years. Shay, I just missed the days my hair was down my back and with bergamot grease. Hey, you took it way back right there, Shay. And water, cream of nature shampoo or conditioner, or mane and tail. Lord, take me back. No, I don't want no mane and tail. But that other stuff I did like. They're all mane and tail is in a class action lawsuit. Not Cream of Nature is no longer owned by the person that created it, which was a black man and his son that created Cream of Nature. It is now watered down and it has gone over to a large corporation. So I don't recommend any of them. Shay, exactly. I know them. Asian suppliers watch these YouTubers and make these products ASAP. They ahead of the game. They business is business, right? Char M, yes, I walked away for about 5 minutes. I had called the store. She denied. She denied it. I told her I was going to boycott their store. You should have told other people too. Have you been telling other people? Facts while labeling too. PUBG Mobile, hello. Um, Flair, I had gentle treatment. You did? How did that work out? Okay, Flair, you from North Carolina? You from Charlotte? That's why I used to work in Concord, and I lived in Huntersville, and I had fun in Charlotte. Are more no, just looking for a product that is reliable and science backed. Oh yes, ma'am. Flair, sorry, Asians created it. Okay, Flair, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Created, what's that? Flair, they also dupe everything. I don't know what that means. And last, Black Lives Matter. She's a diva with food stamps. I guess they talking about the people in the beauty supply store. All right. So, Donna, do you have any more things before we close out, or do y'all want to continue to go on the gentle treatment toward my head? Listen, Flair. Oh, Raleigh, Durham. Okay. Shout out to North Carolina. Y'all some of the nicest people. Y'all don't fuss people out. Y'all like to say, and I'm talking about in every part, y'all be like, bless her heart. That's what they used to say, or precious lamb. That's why I say now I got everybody down here in Miami, all my friends, they be like, precious lamb. Oh God. Okay, judging book covers. DUPE means copy or counterfeiting. What are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're speaking of though. Uh, let's see. MME Flair. The Asians dupe everything. Oh, I see. I got it now. Thank you guys. I'm sorry, it went over my head. Sorry about that. Shay Shay, just for me, texturizer works for me, but I just got Hawaiian silly. I know they are not quality, but any recommendations for any home relaxers? Well, number one, I know they tell you that it's a texturizer. It's actually a relaxer. Hold on. It's actually a relaxer. Shay Shay. It's just the time frame that you leave the relaxer on to process. And question for you: are you a licensed hairstylist? Charlotte too big for me. I'm country. Hey, I understand. I understand. And let me see this one. Oh Lord, we always got it. We always got to have one, child. Let me go ahead and get rid of you. You done been nominated. Y'all was doing good today, but it just, you just had just get that one, just one today. Fresh thing. Now I do like that they got the thing now, Don. I could read it if it's like too. What's why you could
Mhm.
read it before you even it'll hide it until. So
Oh, I didn't even see it.
yeah, so I don't really recommend relaxing. No, I know y'all do it. I won't recommend it to a client. No, I'm only licensed by YouTube Bald Headed University. I'm done. And that's why I would not recommend you to do that. I would recommend Shay Shay. Please, y'all stay off it. Well, I can't say. Now, YouTube, you just got to find the right channel with people doing like what Don and I are doing, and giving you information to help you guys to be aware because you don't have to lose your hair. And that is really cool. I might have to take that one. You by YouTube Bald Headed University. So, um, we do have a lot of mess out here, and that's either on YouTube or just social media, period. But our job, we want you guys to understand that this is our purpose. We're doing our purpose is to help you guys to I never understood it. I used to just be frustrated, Dom, when they be coming in there and they looking for a miracle grow on their hair, and they, and then you get their hair back to par, they run back out there and go to the, get somebody unlicensed and mess up their hair, and then they come back to you, and it was like a vicious cycle. So, to believe it or not, guys, for many years, I can say all the way back to 2000, and for me personally was 2010. I wanted to do something like this, right? So I would do seminars, free seminars in the salon when I was in Concord, North Carolina, at Fallon's Hair Salon. I would do free seminars. She would allow me to do free seminars on Sundays to educate you guys because I start seeing it then, and then I was working at Hair Club, so it kind of gave me an advantage to understand why we were losing our hair and different things like that. So this channel is to bring you education, to bring you awareness. And I promise you guys, listen to me when I say that this week we are going to start our community. I think I'm going to go on Facebook and create it. And we will let you guys know this Sunday coming up how you can go ahead and be a part of that community. It's going to be even more information than what you guys are receiving here. Dawn has a lot of treats for you that she's going to be doing in that channel that's going to help you grow, make you more knowledgeable, help you with your self-esteem because a lot of the decisions we're making the decisions like you picking the hairstylist you do that come in with the bonnet on the head and whatever and don't care. It's because a lot of your ways are like hers and you won't feel judged by her because uh I don't want to say great minds, but your minds think alike. You know what I mean? So this gives you that education and awareness so you can start changing behind closed doors, making yourself look better, feel better, and doing it the right way without compromising your hair. And we are combating, of course, you guys know CCCC. Wait, how many C's I said? CCCCA. It's time for me to get off. But that is what this channel is about. So I can't give you any advice, Shay Shay, on a relaxer that you could use at home because You have looked like you have done enough courses on YouTube Baldhead University. Glad I found y'all. We're glad you found us too. Now, ladies, we will be here next week, 7 p.m. sharp. Rain, sleet, or snow. Even if it's a holiday, we will be here. Well, you know what I'm saying. We will be here on Sundays, so you can tune in there. And then we're going to give you the information you guys need to get into the community. This is like a big support system. You're gonna be able to be with like-minded people, and then you're gonna get even more material information. You can still request your one-on-ones, and also it's just a community where now we're able to give you more, feed you more, nourish you, create this great support system, and then bring you in some stylists and celebrity stylists and different things like that that you guys can have the things that a lot of people may not know about. Because why? Because you guys care enough and you want to change and you want to make a difference in your hair. And you can tell this is genuine, you know what I mean? But we do other things throughout the day, but we're going to be bringing that to you because we're going to take it to another level. All right. And last but not least, the links are in there. If you are not a part of Beauty Pioneer, we need you guys to join that channel because that's where we actually want to go live on. I've been putting videos out on there, but if you can go on there and subscribe, that would be a blessing. We need 50 subscribers. We are at, I think the last time I checked, it was at 20. So we need 50 subscribers on there, guys. Please like and share the videos as well. And then don't forget, Beauty Pioneers are offering one-on-one. I have done a few of them last week. It was amazing. And you will be surprised of how much stuff you will learn on those one-on-one about your particular hair and customizing systems and how you take care of your hair and how you will see the difference once you sign up for one of the what we call them, Dawn? I forgot.
Beauty sessions.
Yeah, the beauty sessions. You get to find out, you get to pick which package that you may need depending on the levels, because some of you may just need just to critique some things, hair care products and different things like that, like the questions that were asked. We get to do that on a one or more intimate level and ask more in-depth questions that can get you the results that you need in time. So I would definitely recommend that you do that as well. Don, any last words?
Don't run into your boyfriend at the club.
Oh
Baby
Lord,
daddy.
no, the baby that
I'm
don't run
sorry.
into your baby daddy or your boyfriend at the club is from Dawn after she just dropped all them gems for the last almost 2 hours. Guys, you can put your comments here. Please remember to like and share this video as well. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. And smooches.
Thank you. Take care.